heads, though.
Yeah, it moves from the head to the back.
It's just gross.
It's leaking. Yeah. All right. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Word, Praise and Wisdom number 20. Happy Sabbath. Howdy, Lynn. Howdy, Dee. Howdy, Shawnette.
Howdy.
So we do 5 readings, 5 chapters at a time. Today is 20, so that means we are going through 96, 97, 98, 99, and 5 times 20, 100. I know. I didn't want to do math today. Okay. Nobody.
Yeah, I never understood why we had to learn algebra, and I still don't use algebra.
You can come help me in the machine shop if you want.
I don't use algebra. Let's put it that way.
I use it every day for something.
All right, let's go ahead. Pray in. Get rolling here.
Come on.
Good morning, Father. Thank you very much for bringing us together to fellowship on your day of rest. We're very grateful for that. And we would just ask for you to pour out your spirit of knowledge and understanding on everybody here now and in the future so that they get the message that you need. We would ask for you to heal those that have head pain and head issues from internal and external. And thank you for the healing of those that you have been. And we would ask you and thank you for all the babies that are going to make it. That's a blessing. And we're, just let us know what we can do to help. Thank you. We love you. In Jesus Yeshua's name, amen.
Amen.
All righty. Psalm 96. Amen. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song. Sing unto the Lord all the earth. Sing unto the Lord. Bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Give unto the Lord, O ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. O worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. Let the heavens rejoice, and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof. Let the field be joy, and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice before the Lord. For he cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with righteousness, and the people with his truth.
Psalm 97. The Lord reigneth. Let the earth rejoice. Let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods. Zion heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoiced because of my judgments, O Lord. For thou, Lord, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all gods. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the soul of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, ye righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness.
Psalm 98. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done wonderful things. His right hand and his holy arm have gained the victory for him. The Lord has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in the sight of the nations, and he has remembered his loving kindness and his faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth and sing for joy and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and the sound of melody. With trumpets and the sound of the horn, shout joyfully before the King, the Lord. Let the sea roar and all it contains, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the mountains sing together for joy before the Lord, for he is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the people with equity.
Psalm 99. The Lord reigneth. Let the people tremble. He sitteth between the cherubims. Let the earth be moved. The Lord is great in Zion, and he is high above all the people. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish equity. Thou executest judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the Lord our God, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name. They called upon the Lord, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. He kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them. They kept his okay. Verse 7. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them. Thou answeredst them, O Lord our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, that though thou tookest vengeance in their inventions. Exalt the Lord our God, and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy.
Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. Okay. Let's go back to 96. Look at that. Just about for as much as these Psalms have been focused on, his mercy and righteousness, but also exposing the wicked, and the wicked are going to get what's coming to them. Today it's just all praise. It really is praise and thankfulness.
I can go for that.
I know. Amen. Yep. And then notice first 5 verses. First 5 verses. Everybody, everything is going to sing to him and sing praises to him.
Can you imagine? We will be out of this mess. I can't imagine we wouldn't do anything but sing.
Right?
Oh, thank you.
For at least the first 10,000 years.
Absolutely.
We're not going to have time, I don't think, like it says in Revelation, right? There will be time no more.
Yeah.
Maybe that means time is up, but I believe it also means there's not going to.
Time doesn't exist like it's structured. It's man-made structure.
Just for us.
Like it is now, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, and I don't know if this is correct, but I believe I heard somewhere or learned in a teaching that that's when the fall, when Adam and Eve, that's when time, according to man, started
Oh,
in the fallen
Well,
world.
time came when he said light be. When he made the light, then that's when time was established.
Well,
Because he
that
made
was
the light
Okay.
for the day and the moon for the night. Anyway, that's how I see it. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but that's how I see it.
Yeah.
well his
I
time,
ag-
right? His time started with the first day.
Mhm.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think with
Right.
Shawnette, you're saying how man measures time
Right.
started.
And then
Okay.
the shorter lifespans. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Abba's time is, of course, with the creation. Yeah.
hmm
almost 1,000 years. That's pretty short. It is actually, it's the blink of an eye in our Father's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you're eternal, I mean, oh gosh, can you imagine how it just now sort of kind of registered. Just think about when you're in a bad situation, how time just drags. It's like, out of this. Can you imagine if Adam and Eve became eternal creatures at that point? What
Having
kind
to
of
do that.
life that would have been?
Yeah. Slow motion all of a sudden.
Oh, slow motion, just misery.
Constant misery.
Yeah,
Yeah. But we don't have to deal with that.
that's right.
So thankfully, that's another of his mercy. Another of his mercies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mhm.
So death in that case is actual mercy.
Yep. And that,
Hmm.
let's see, where was that?
Interesting.
It's, interesting because, it starts off in verse 1, all the earth, and then verse 9, all the earth. And then 11 moves up to the heavens. Let the heavens rejoice and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof. That's interesting too, because even as much as I believe everything is alive, I never thought about the ocean roaring.
His waves, waving at Abba. When the trees leaves, they're waving at Abba. The birds, I just think they're singing for Abba.
The
Along with all their
waves,
other
the
stuff.
waves singing their song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And everything has its song, even if we can't hear it.
Well, then where does it say that the earth groans?
It does.
It groans because of sin.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
good insight. Again, we have the word salvation in verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Show salvation from day to day.
And in the last verse, he's coming to judge the earth with righteousness and his people with truth.
Yep.
So back in 2, something just struck me. It's like proclaim good tidings of his salvation from day to day. Do we not hear that also repeated in the New Testament? That is actually the good news, is the salvation. It's Yeshua. So that whole thing is right here in Psalm 96.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like we keep saying, Messiah, right? Yeshua Messiah, Jesus Christ is from in the beginning to the last amen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go to 97. What do we have? That now it's interesting describing where Abba is, right? Where Yah is. Clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. Fire goeth before him and burneth up his enemies round about. Hills melted like wax. Right? And we're at a point where humans have the technology to melt rock, but then they still want to say, there can't be any God that does that. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, well, there's historical records and everything, like Sodom and Gomorrah and everything just being vaporized, or glass.
Ash.
The sand turned to glass, and salt, everything.
And it's sulfur.
Lately,
The rock
in my historical studies, I've come across where it's melted rock, but you can see that it was buildings or a structure, and now it was out of rock, and now it's just melted. So it's like, how did that happen? It's been like that for a long time.
What about on the other side of the Gulf of Aqaba on the Red Sea? Black-topped mountain, rock split in two. That's rock in the middle of barren desert, split in two. That's worn away with water.
And
Just
they
like the
can
river
show
rock.
where the water went down into the valley and filled up that whole valley.
Well, back with Sodom and Gomorrah, I think the people that you have talked about before, Jonathan, where the couple has gone to that area, those rocks are sulfur, and you can light them on fire. They will burn.
They find little nodules of the unburned sulfur.
Yeah.
In a more pure state than you can find it on Earth, and with a combination of minerals that allow it to burn hotter than they would have thought possible.
And and the ability, the amazing thing, it will still burn.
Yep.
Even now.
Yep.
Just
I know. What if it was
amazing.
different? What if that's just the residue? What if there was,
oh my gosh,
whatever it was raining down, whatever substance it was, whatever mixture it was even hotter. Yep.
Fear the Lord. Fear
What
the
else do we have
Lord.
here in 97? What's that word confounded mean in verse 7?
Confounded, confused, muddled, befuddled. I don't know. I'm guessing. Let's see what it means.
in 7, confounded.
97?
Where? Let's see.
It's the first word in the King James. Let me see.
To pale, to be ashamed, to be disappointed.
Okay. Yeah, mine said, because the NASB says, "Let all those be ashamed who serve graven images."
Yeah, that's exactly it. Ooh.
Yep.
Graven images. Worship.
Very interesting. That, right? You that love the Lord, hate evil. He that preserveth the souls of his saints, he delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Now, 11's interesting. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Awesome sauce. All right, let's go to 98. That. Again, we're going into the more praises more about his salvation, his righteousness that he openly showed in the sight of the heathen, the people that don't believe. And that, I don't remember where. I think it's up a little more. But what else do you have out of 98 here?
Again, in verse 2, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Which it was the same verse in 96.
Right.
Made known his salvation. And then you've got let the sea roar and all it contains again. Let the rivers clap their hands and the mountains sing with joy.
Yep.
I'm wondering what that sounds like. You know, like they picked up whales, like what whales, how they sing. I wonder, I'm sure they have it, like the earth resonance, what that actually sounds like.
Makes me wonder, because them, whales, elephants, they both have what they call, what is it? Infrasonic. It's a sound in a decibel in a hearing range that's way lower than we can hear. And elephants can communicate like dozens of miles using that. In that,
And whales hundreds and hundreds of miles.
yeah.
Well, and I'm wondering if you picked up
Bigfoot uses that too. Sorry, Dee. Sorry, Dee. Excuse me.
No, that's okay. I'm wondering if you picked up if you put the elephant sound in water, if it would not resonate like you're talking about the same distance as a whale because of the water carrying the sound.
Maybe.
You know, we should probably apply for a grant to prove that causes global warming when like millions.
But then we would have to research, and then we would have to research.
We need a whale and an elephant.
Well, we might have to be careful because we might create a new woodpecker weapon or whatever that thing's called.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you never know. The amplification. And yeah, I think that, well, they have the song of the supposedly of the planets, the spheres, and I believe that they have the earth harmonic or vibration.
It's called the Schumann resonance.
I was trying to think of that, Lynn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
the what resonance?
Schumann.
Schumann, Schuman, if I'm spelling it correctly.
I think that's right.
Does that sound
Right.
And yeah, when that Schumann resonance gets like weird, then we all feel that. Every living creature on the planet and the air and everything, the water, it all feels that disturbance.
Well, another thing that's interesting is musical instruments. So back before digital, I forget the frequency, was 442 was the megahertz, I think. I can't, correct me if I'm wrong. And then when they went to digital, they changed it. They raised it. 444. Thank you. And if you look at the, there's waves that the sounds create. If you look at them, they're harmonic. They look like kaleidoscopes. They're really cool looking. And then that when they raised it, all of that gets distorted and it creates this.
Yeah.
In your body, it's agitation.
It agitates your water cells. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to detune to 432.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
And you can find detuners to run your stuff through to stop that.
Well, and that goes back to the water study with the different vibrations, love, hate, different types of music and the effects on the body and the water. Yeah.
But you just think about if they're doing that with the music, which is it's all digitalized. And so that has they've raised that frequency, they've raised that megahertz speed. Yeah. So that resonance is what's being put out over all the planet. And because it's in radio, it's in your CD, if anything digital, that's the frequency, the resonant level that it's being disseminated at. So unless it's natural music, and like when you go into the churches, they've changed the frequency, the resonant level as well. There's some information on that they're actually putting the sound people in sound booths to. There's a bunch of stuff along with that not for here, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to 99, shall we? Okay, he's reigning. He's great in Zion. He's high above all the people. And I still don't see what it was that caught my attention. Must be in the next one. But again, it's his praise, his judgment. Notice how today, every time it mentions judgment, it mentions equity. Mm-hmm. Everyone is going to be judged equally. What's the first thing that we're going to be asked? How are you here?
How are you here?
Yeah.
What gives you the right to be here?
I'm here by your son, our Savior, Yeshua Messiah, Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. It's the only way I made it here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you step over here. I did all these great and wonderful things. That's why I'm here. That.
And then you go over here.
Maybe.
You go to the left. Maybe.
Poof. That no.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Remember that Yeshua said, those who teach others not to follow the law will be the least in the kingdom of heaven. But they're still going to be at the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes. This is why it's so important to study the whole word.
And just think, there's people out there that are going to, when they see the sky roll apart as a scroll and armies of heaven come down, there are people that are going to say, aliens, right? Mm-hmm. Dude with the weird hair, aliens. And then what are they going to do? Are they going to be cowering before someone and saying, oh, great alien leader or something like that? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I would think everybody would just be on their face or on their knees and they wouldn't be able to say anything.
With Yeshua.
Right.
I mean, if you saw that big throne come down on God and all that fire and stuff, and I mean,
but if we're going to have a false, well, if that's what's going to happen, that it's going to be a false thing, then it is going to be a reverence and a kneeling, because they're thinking that that's who it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what Jonathan's saying, or what I understand, we will. I mean, when it is Yeshua Messiah, we will bow. There's no doubt. Everyone will bow. Sure. It will be immediate. But what you're talking about, equity, Jonathan, reminded me, and it's an argument that I have given to other people who like what we have now come to understand, that we are Israel. Mm-hmm. We're all judged under the same banner. He tells us, we know now that the law, the Torah still exists. It's still valid, because how else can you judge with equity? You can't judge one group with one set of rules and one with another.
Yep.
And that's not fair. That's not equity.
Oh, it's not equity. And that's the thing is, oh, well, these people get to do whatever they want because they're chosen people. Never says that. Never says it anywhere.
Mm-mm.
It says if you abide by my statutes and judgments, then. But if you do not, then you're not going to be my people. You're cut off. So you can't sit there. What gets me, though, is the people that have been cut off and are antichrist and deny Christ, deny Messiah, have convinced billions of people that think they're following Christ that their salvation is dependent upon blessing people who reject Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Two different subjects. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have in 99? I found verse 6 very interesting. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that call upon his name. So Samuel, we know that dude was a mighty prophet.
Yes, he spoke to them.
He spoke to them. Yep.
Is that what that says in KJV? It's just he spoke to them?
He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them.
In verse 7.
Okay. No, I didn't know if they left out the pillar of cloud.
And I find 8 very interesting. He forgave us them, but he still took vengeance on their inventions, like their deeds and the things that they did. Yeah, you're forgiven, but I'm still going to give you the justice that you deserve. Am I reading that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, it's again like, a child that breaks curfew. If you're disciplining a child.
Yeah. That's interesting that, Holly, that you phrase it like that, right? If he laid the smackdown on people, but they hid it to make him appear distant. What does Revelation say in chapter 16 when they start pouring out the vials of wrath? It says that they get all these punishments, but they still didn't repent of their sins. And I believe we're seeing that, right? Because people, right? It's not a pestilence from a vial of wrath that's been poured out. It's man is so smart, we discovered a new disease. Well, how arrogant is that? I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? But he will judge us in equity. And if they reject his peace offering, right? Because that's what the angels said, peace on earth, goodwill toward man, all man. The peace offering that we were given, if that's rejected, that's it. Anyways. Right? Look how that ends off. Exalt Yahovah our God and worship at his holy hill. For Yahovah our God is set apart, is holy. He's set apart. We got to go to him. Yet he sent his Redeemer to come get us.
Yes, he did. Praise his name.
Okay, let's go to 100. 100. Nobody? Okay. Look at this is I don't know where it was that I saw that. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But praise, right? It even says it, a psalm of praise. Make a joyful noise. Serve Yahovah with gladness. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. I'm thinking about that, but I couldn't stand musicals. I still can't stand musicals.
Oh, I
I
love them.
musicals.
The
I love
movies,
them too. My son was in one.
Sorry. Yeah,
they're just right. But I don't think it's going to be like that. I think musicals are the Hollywood version of mocking,
Yeah, well, some of them. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Gonna wash that man right out of my hair.
I mean, you're probably right because that's all they do is mock everything that they do.
Killjoy.
You get him, TR.
What do you mean? What do you mean all the crops have burned and they've stolen our cattle? They have stolen our cows. Come on, man. And the flames are rising. Okay.
That'd be about like it though.
They burned the corn. Now we got popcorn.
Your son has been out drinking all night. You little drunkard. Okay. No, I mean, come on. They're just ridiculous.
99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Was that in a musical?
I don't know, but
It depends on how you enact it.
that's right. It depends on which musical you're talking about. Personal one or one from Broadway.
That is correct.
I'll agree with you, Brenda.
All right.
This is one of my favorites. And, verse 4, enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. So we can go into his courts and we should go in there just thanking and praising that we got an attorney, Jesus, so we can come before the Lord and get what we need in our lives, or, give him or lay out our case to him, and he looks at us all the same.
Yeah.
Well, and then that description goes back to the description of, the tabernacle. So that's above,
Amen,
it's
sister.
it's up there. That's how it is. We just get an earthly, somewhat representation of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The inner courts. Woohoo.
Didn't everybody get together in the court though?
Mhm.
Wasn't everyone welcome in the court?
Everyone
Well,
could
there's
go
the
into
outer and
inner
And
court,
then
outer
there-
court, right? Only Hebrews could go,
Right.
only Israel could go into the inner court.
Inner court.
But then there was the sanctuary.
Ah, interesting.
Just the priests could go in.
Right.
Right. So when the
And then the Holy of Holies, only the
Yes.
high priest could go in
Yeah.
once
and so
a
then
year.
that big curtain got torn, so that opened it up for us to go and approach the throne.
So
If
there was an
we're
outer
in
court,
Yeshua.
outer
Yeah,
court,
we're
inner
in
court, outer court, inner court, and then the sanctuary, and then the Holy of Holies, right? Is that correct?
That's the way I remember
So
it right
if
now.
we're in the inner court, then there's going to be a group of people in the outer court. So is that those who have accepted Yeshua Messiah, but are not following the instructions?
No, I don't know. It's still in the kingdom though, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it says too, when John's told to measure that, it says it will be what does he say? Trampled, tread under the foot of the Gentiles for a period of time until the fulfillment comes. Let's see. Is that 12? No. 11. Okay, but the court which is without the temple leave it out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot for 42 months. So, anyways. Oops, wrong words. clicked on Proverbs by accident. Okay. What is that 42 from?
She's saying the number 42.
Oh,
It appears in multiple places.
right. And that I thought we read something about him making man
Oh,
today. And I thought I read that, but it just got me to thinking about how people have a tendency to hold up someone and say they're a self-made man.
that sounds funny now.
Like not a moniker you would actually want, would it be?
Well, it's certainly not giving him the praise or the glory for it.
As if the man created himself.
Right.
Well, and it also goes back to everything, all of our achievements. And even if you get a promotion at work, or even if he brings you more money, it's not, and I'm guilty of that. It's not what we do. It's his blessings.
Yep, it is. It is. All right. Anything else for 100? Okay. What else do we have on our minds today?
We're women. What do we not have on our minds?
Correct.
Narrow it down. We saw how many rabbit trails we went down just in,
5 minutes.
Yeah.
There were a few. There may have been a couple of rabbit trails.
That's all right. You dug the tunnel, so it came back around.
That's right. He's like, oh boy, too much estrogen in this room today.
Got to keep these women in line, keep them focused.
How do we do that? Yes, how do we do it?
We don't know. We don't know.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Chocolate banana raspberry bread.
I'm sure I bet you there's a coffee house that's serving that right now.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Coffee house of Shawnette.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With the Turkish coffee, thank you, GR.
Ooh.
You're in Arizona? Okay.
All right. I better get some out
He's
to
up the
eat.
road from me. Well, a couple hundred miles, but
Okay. Well, thank you for reading, Lynn. Thank you for reading, Dee. Thank you for reading, Shawnette. Great connection.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you all. Yes, praise Yah.
Yay.
I know. That was awesome.
Yay.
So we'll be back Tuesday evening with more. If you want to read, comment down below the video.
Love
And,
to have you. It's
we'll
fun.
get you up. It is fun. And what would Matt say if he was here?
Like,
He would
share.
say,
Subscribe. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Where is
All right.
Matty Yahoo?
The what? Yahoo.
Where is
Matt-
Matty Yahoo?
I don't know. Matty Yahoo? I thought you said, where is that Yahoo?
Well, that would be appropriate too.
So, all right. Anyways, everybody, thank you very much. Enjoy your wonderful day of rest and get some rest.
Thank
We
you.
love you. We will talk to you mucho suno. Bye. Okay, I'll click the button now.